Two faint lights illuminate a concrete room that resembles a box with unpainted walls and electricity lines slithering around the sides. Some cables lead to adjacent edges. Others go down to a chair-like gadget on the ground that looks like an electric chair, although it has a big back. A scientist, in a section humming with power, experiments with time travel, controlling a control panel located behind the chair as someone else fastens a skull cap decked out with numerous wires. A guard is trapping an adolescent boy. The youngster seems afraid, yet he is resolute. The guard nods after testing the shackles. Two black-suited men are waiting by the sole entryway to the poorly lit space. Despite the low light, both wear dark sunglasses, and their dressy, polished clothing shines slightly. One of the black-clad men speaks to the boy. "Did you see him, boy?" The scientists start examining the machine's back, working frantically at the controls as the whole device energizes with a noticeable surge of electricity. The boy's terrified eyes enlarge. However, the second scientist stoops to reassure him. As we discussed, focus on the date and the target, 4th of September. Imagine the man's face in 1976. Pay attention to every line and fold. The boy nods and shuts his eyes as the hum of the government's secret lab strengthens, making the boy's condition nearly intolerable. He grits his teeth and lets out a shout. Then, an intense burst of light erupts, and the child disappears. A moment later, he reappears with his back strapped. He's sweating profusely in the chair, breathing heavily as the scientists hurry to free him from his bonds. One of the black-clad men dashes over. "Did you see him, boy? What did you learn from the nods?" He raises his head. "Did you notice how worn out the target was?" The boy, barely able to talk, whispers loudly, almost physically and mentally breaking down. He was conversing with a man building a new submarine, referred to as a Kula. The boy passes out as the scientists summon a nurse and take him away. The two black-clad men whisper information together. "The president with whom our agent effectively penetrated Soviet time wasn't able to collect any helpful intelligence beyond verifying what our field workers have already provided. A new submarine has been constructed by the Russians. Something important. We'll try again tomorrow, with an emphasis on gathering technical and operational specifics. Project Montauk has been successful. Talk about the notorious conspiracy idea, perhaps serving as the basis for Netflix's Stranger Things, a secret-related program. Government laboratories are employing children with psychic abilities to reach a different dimension. But if warriors of psych whistleblowers should be trusted, accessing other dimensions is just the commencement of the United States' greater effort. The government has made significant progress in New York State's Camp Hero, subterranean. In 1942, New York was founded at the end of Long Island Sound. Hidden as a mere village, Camp Hero fished as a coastal defense installation loaded with firepower and made to prevent a Nazi takeover of New York. The placements and a rifle were kept in enormous concrete bunkers tucked behind in the ground, permitting defenders to release intense fire on any invaders using 3 16-inch and 6-inch gun batteries. Soon after World War II, the guns at the location were dropped by the U.S. military, except for a long-range radar facility used to watch the Atlantic for Soviet incoming nuclear missiles. It has been moved to the National Park Service. At least, that's the official record. However, if you're among the unfortunate few who came against your will to Camp Hero, you understand that the actual history is much more sinister. 11 years after Camp Hero was formally closed, two men, using hypnosis to heal suppressed recollections hidden deep within their subconscious, were astonished when terrifying recollections of their time spent under Camp Hero in a covert government laboratory flooded back. The story is terrifying. Mars teleportation. Nichols Preston and S.W.L. Stewart, found to possess psychic sensitivity, were taken hostage by government officials and brought to Camp Hero. They entered through an old gunnery door and descended in an elevator to the lowest floors of the covert subterranean research facility. There, other people were introduced to the young lads like them, but there wasn't any time for socializing. The results of the experiments were various, deep underground, but all pushed the boundaries of science and alien cooperation, and frequently even transcended hearsay. Word spread that the USSR was diligently investigating every possible supernatural occurrence in a desperate attempt to obtain any kind of advantage over their American adversaries. As a consequence, the United States government started several covert initiatives to guarantee American supremacy in all facets of combat, including remote viewing of the paranormal, which drew substantial interest from the intelligence community, allowing intelligence officers to learn more about Soviet facilities without their knowledge. Consequently, the application called Psychic Warrior was created, training American psychic troops since birth to outwit hostile psychic spies. However, other experiments aimed to manipulate and change the fundamental structure of the past. In fact, in the early 1940s, the United States was able to transport an entire battleship in a situation dubbed the Philadelphia experiment. The results were sloppy, with the ship rematerializing, but the living crew merged into its hull, leaving no survivors. After that, under Camp Hero's serene grounds, the United States aimed to refine this technique. Experiments with teleportation started, and small moving items, such as apples, or a few feet away from the nuclear power generator, made it possible for much more energy to be directed toward the experiments. Years of refinement followed, and the technology improved to the point where scientists from Project Montauk could teleport people as far as Mars. Indeed, it is thought that, in 2012, President Obama teleported to Mars to meet with an alien delegation in charge of a cooperative research facility with American and alien scientists. As with Project Montauk, their technology allowed them to unlock many of the project's greatest achievements. However, little is known about these alien partners with whom the United States government allied, or their actual goals for the world. Possibly Project Montauk's best accomplishment was in the time domain. The advantages of time travel are natural. Imagine being able to send an operative back in time to prevent national and global disasters. History, as you know it today, is shaped by Project Montauk. Is the Allies winning World War II? That's thanks to intelligence sent back in time to warn President Roosevelt of German and Japanese plans. The US's triumph over the Soviet Union in the Cold War? Again, the work of secret American time-traveling spies, changing the past to correct future mistakes and eliminate potential threats. Nichols has been widely discredited, and not a single one of his claims has ever been proven factual. Even his claims of having degrees in various scientific fields are false. Project Montauk is pure fiction, but that hasn't stopped legions of people from purchasing Nichols' books, or believing that the U.S. government did abduct teenagers to conduct mind control and time travel experiments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment below to let us know what you think.